What did you do?
I record my gameplay videos.
What did you learn from this?
I learned something. Perhaps I improved on playing this game.
Learned some new skills to help you with the game?
Yes.
How do you think that you challenge yourself in this one? Somewhere you found challenging?
This is about games, so parents are angry about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They want me to do different things.
So your challenge was that you didn't have support from him?
Yeah.
What did they want you to do?
I don't know.
Why did you choose this project?
Because I like to play games. Yeah. I tried to do different one, but
It's too hard?
yeah.
I may make you live streaming star.
Okay.
So TCIS 유튜브 홈페이지 라이브 스트리밍 go connect.
Okay. So is it going live stream now?
Yeah.
Okay. So do I need someone to carry the camera, or are you going to carry the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright. Did you catch what he was saying?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to tell us about your project? You want to show us some of your project? Can you turn the screen so we can see it?
Should I turn on my most highlight or?
Yeah, sure. So where are you? Who are
in
you?
the game.
You're in the game? Are you one of the characters?
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm the red.
The red one in the middle that's getting shot? Is this...
1 versus 5.
Wow. What do you think that you can do with this in the future?
Perhaps YouTuber.
You gonna be a YouTuber?
Yeah. Or pro gamer.
Okay. Great. Thank you for showing us, Andrew.
I thought I'm doing this, but there's a rain there.
Hi. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about your projects?
I decided to make like a candle for my project, and I did this to raise awareness about like mental health and like offer a healthy way to cope with feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression.
But I'll still be here.
And my learning goal was to learn about the basics of aromatherapy and find out more about how certain smells can affect one's body and mind. And my product goal was to create a healthy coping mechanism for students who are dealing with stress due to workload, relationships, family, etc. The product is a candle that can help reduce anxiety and stress using the concept of aromatherapy. And I think part of the reason why I made the candles was because I thought that like we live in a world where like things move so quickly, and I thought that like practicing mindfulness and just taking time for yourself is important, and I thought that using candles is a good way to practice mindfulness.
Erin, can you tell us one thing that was challenging about this project for you?
I think this project challenged me to like think out of my comfort zone and challenged me to think like more creatively and come up with like different combinations of scents. So
Excellent, Erin. Thank you so much.
Remember, give me one.
Can you tell us a little bit about your projects?
My project is to make using Fusion 360, which is a 3D modeling program. So this is a car, which is a real car, Ferrari 308. it's a card. I made the 3D modeling through watching tutorials, like many tutorials, and going through this process and making this final product and adding some more colors so that it looks more distinct from the tutorial. And,
Why did you choose this project?
I really like cars, and I wanted to know how they're formed, and I wanted to know how the process of making them and the designs. I also wanted to know like what each parts of the cars do to maintain its programs and every features of it.
So do you feel like through using 3D, that it helped you to understand how cars are made a little bit more?
Yeah, because like I learned more about how these pillars are affecting the whole parts of the cars, and how this arc for tires are different for each cars.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. Hey, hello. Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So I've created a music app that anybody can use it. So these are some example songs that I added on my website.
Are these songs that you made?
No.
Okay.
So if you actually, once you listen to this music, you can click on this and you'll be able to play music here, listen to music. If you go down a bit, you can actually know more about the song.
We don't have the speaker.
I got this from Google, from each artist's website. So they're actually explaining what their song is about. There's some just additional description about the song. And if you wanna, through social media, you can actually request a song. Then if they request a song that I can add, if they request a song, then I can add on to this website.
I like that you named it after yourself.
Yeah. And for me, I like the color.
What was some of the process that you went for? Like, how did you start to build it? What did you need to do to make it the way it is?
So first of all, I just got this inspiration from a random SoundCloud music website. That's also a music website. But I realized that they don't get any songs from other people, or they don't get any comments from other people. So I realized that actually connecting with other audiences and getting those feedbacks and actually changing it lively every time when they ask for something, that would be best. So I just made my product that way. And also, when you click on this, I wanted to make a other page that actually, when they can actually focus on the song more. When they're like working on other homeworks or just studying, they can just click on this. They can just choose a music and they can just listen to music.
And it's not too distracting or anything. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. That looks really cool. Good job.
I'm in half. We're going up. Don't touch it.
Scones are the smallest offspring often born with birth defects or genetic mutations. Due to their abnormal size, they often conceal a world of pain. Conditions like hypoglycemia, breathing problems, heart disease, liver shunts, and even hydrocephalus, a brain deformity. Therefore, teacup breeds, which are created from the inbreeding among the runs of the litters, consequently suffer from these health conditions as well. But the problem doesn't stop there. To maintain the teacup industry, breeders sometimes intentionally underfeed puppies to stunt their growth, ensuring they stay tiny and marketable. In addition to the excessive use of inbreeding, there are several other unethical breeding practices in the pet industry. Puppy mills dogs, for instance, is a factory for low-cost puppy production. Blinded by commercial benefits, breeders often force the dogs into dire conditions, leading the dogs to be mentally and physically hurt. For instance, People for Ethical Treatment of Animals states that investigators have observed dogs several
Mostly used online sources and interview him, but I didn't use like numerical data or statistics yet. And I was going to get feedback about my video because I could YouTube it and share it on the post or share it to students.
I think the data would be really interesting to look at. Countries.
I think we get ground level. Ready? Alright. Ryan, tell us a little bit about your project.
Okay. So as you can see, my project was to improving my shooting in 7 days, 1 week. You can see this is the video I recorded today that I've been doing for the whole break. Okay.
I set out for the 3-point contest to recap really any term.
Can you show us just some of your highlights? What's some of the big things that you learned in the making of your video and improving your shot?
I mean, editing was a very new thing for me because this is like my third time doing it. I learned some during 8th grade when I was in the film class. So, like I like editing very much. So I enjoyed the process pretty much.
What about basketball specific, improving your shot? What were some things that you learned to help you improve your shot?
I learned a lot. Like I think I learned a lot from communicating with coaches and others about like what can improve. I also did a lot of research and just by doing like daily. 7 days might sound pretty short.
But that consistency, do you think it makes a big difference? Yeah. Right. So let's say your 7 days are over, right? And then you take a break. Do you think you would be just as good after your break? Or do you have to keep that consistency going?
Yeah, I think I have to keep that.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing.
We forgot her.
Sorry. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your project.
So my project is about the selective breeding in the pet industry for aesthetic notions. And my learning goal for this was to understand how selective breeding was acquired in the pet industry and how it can impact the animals, for example, the health consequences and such.
What drew you to this topic?
First of all, I'm an animal lover, so I definitely knew that I'll do something related to animals. And I also own a dog, so I wanted to do something related to the pet industry. And I recalled that when I was young, I found pet shops really cute because there were lots of cute dogs and small dogs. But now that I think about it, pet shops are really not such a great environment for pets. For example, they're stuck in a small cage, in rows. So I thought maybe a lot of people don't know about this because they're blinded by the cuteness of the dogs. So I wanted to undercover these kind of sides of the pet industry. And also I have interest in the biology section. So I recalled that I enjoyed learning about genetics and selective breeding. And selective breeding was a method that people use to breed dogs, so I connected these two and decided to do a topic about this.
Excellent. It sounds like it's really important to you. Do you think that you're going to be able to continue working on this after you finish school and go into a direction later in life with this?
Yeah, I currently am thinking about in the future I want to pursue a career related to the biomedical area or the medical, so yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome.
I like how you prepared everything. You have this, that. Nice job.
It's very nice. And we enjoyed watching a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Our subject name.
Oh.
All right.
So my personal project is about teaching piano. The reason I chose this is because I like to play the piano during for my hobby, and I wanted to share this joy of playing the piano and releasing stress, so that other people can enjoy it too. So I decided that my product goal would be creating a video of me teaching somebody else how to play the piano, and combining them all together so that I can show the whole process. And the last video would be of me and my student playing a four-hands piano together.
Oh, wow. Are these your students?
Oh yes, I had 6 total lessons, and these are the pictures of the lessons I had.
Okay.
And I also have a video combined. Do I show that?
You can show that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not the whole thing, just like a little bit of
Oh,
it.
okay.
That'd be great.
Is this supposed to?
That's okay if it's not going to work. But you can tell us what was something that was maybe pretty challenging about this.
The most challenging part was scheduling, because I had my things to do and my student had her things to do. But we worked them out, so we decided to meet once a week and 6 times in total. And also something else was, it's my first time teaching somebody who has 0 knowledge of piano. So I got advice from people I know, like teachers and people who learn piano and how to teach others. So I
Is there anything that you wish you would have done differently?
next time, I think I would incorporate more opinions of the professionals so that I have a better product, and I don't go through the hardships I went through this time.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good job.
My personal project is about me explaining about different types of exercise for the muscular body. So I made a video about it. So first is about chest day, and I included 3 or 4 exercises for each body parts.
Okay.
For this is chest day, and so it explains how many sets you do and how many reps you do, and also explain about the benefits of those exercises. And so this is a different chest exercise, and then for back day there's other different exercises for your back. So also at the last part of the video, this explains about the diet that's good for walking. So for example, 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of your body weight. And I made this video because I wanted other people to exercise more daily, because these days people I think start to rely more on technologies and not really work out well. So it also reduces your stress while working out, and it's also good for your body. And so I made a video about for people to know more about exercises, and it's like a start, how to easily start exercises. So
What is one of the most important things that you feel like you learned through this process?
Consistency, because people, starting the exercise is one hard part, but being consistent is the most important and the hard part. So I made these videos which has a daily workout for each day, so it helps you to be more consistent as a workout.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing.
This is a simple paper that I made an explanation about the function side of this PC. So there's many parts getting in the PC. CPU, main chip.
Intel Core.
Yeah, this is an Intel Core process, and then this GPU that I use. It's a simple explanation.
What was something that was challenging about building this?
So like when I see the studying about it and I watch the YouTube video to learn this, but they're all the professional guys, so like they made it so easy. But when I really try it, it's so hard. Like they made it just one touch it, and they did it.
And
It was not working.
a lot more difficult.
Yeah. So
Is this custom?
yeah. So they built the PC in 30 minutes, but I took more than 3 hours to make it. It was a challenging part.
How do you think that you're going to be able to use this in the future? Is this going to help you in the future?
Yeah, because like I was interested in the PC and other kind of electronic devices for a long time ago. But then I think BP was the kind of with this one about the things like that.
And yeah, do you have anything else you want to tell us about your project?
No, I'm really nervous right now, so I can't think of it.
Well, it turned out really well. I'm very impressed. Very good job.
Good job, Jamie.
What is a
Oh, this is a CPU cooler, so there's two types of CPU cooler. Right now it's half.
이야기를 쓰면 돼요. 제가 1분 동안 시간을 드릴게요. 근데 이렇게 각서를 칠 때마다 오른쪽으로 고개를 돌리고 쓰고 있는 손을 이렇게 올리면서 소리를 한번 해보세요. 시작! 아무 이야기를 해주세요.
Yeah, so we have like tons of different activities and different people that come together. A lot of different parts of at TCIS. They come and they have their food as well. And I know that one of my favorite experiences was actually South African lunch at Iceland. It's really interesting and fun. It's actually this semester, so it's around all the same day. But it's an experience that you should. I love it. And the international bulletin page on February. So it's like really great on the TCS community for next year. We had the Denmark students that and I actually co-led that. I actually, today there's an assembly and I kind of co-led it. How Denmark students live their lives, and I was going to do a survey of Denmark students and how to adjust to cultural appropriation. Talk about culture is setting in arts. We don't want to manipulate research culture in arts or research. And it never really happened like you said, it's big precedents that we don't misuse culture. I actually have a video, but this monitor is faulty, so it doesn't show. But it's 5 minutes long. This is a montage of clips that I got from my.
So you drew that video?
Yeah. I got that from with the help of Miss Gordon. I actually was able to create a homework activity, and I got tons of clips. I got to create a montage. Yeah, the monitor is faulty. So, but this is my I have professional conduct, audience exposure.
That's it.
These are my classes. As for my success criteria, I want to get the highest level possible, so I want to have 7 to 8 level. However, that wasn't possible, especially in the language section. I said that I would use Korean alongside English to really communicate to the TCIS community, especially since there are many people that can't speak English. However, I wasn't able to do that. There wasn't enough time, so unfortunately I had to grade myself.
Extra tables and I just
Okay.
So Celine, can you tell us a little bit about
Oh
your
yeah.
project?
So my personal project is about sustainable gardening. My learning goal is that I want to learn how to grow fruit seed from home using recycled materials. My product goal is to create a poster. So what I did is investigate 3 methods of growing seeds. This one is using eggshells, this one using plastic bottle, this one using newspaper. The eggshell one, it has like nutrients on the eggshell, so that's what helps the plant grow. And for the plastic bottle, it automatically moisturizes the soil. And this one, it's really easy to make and it's out of really readable, accessible material. And from this, I had criteria and I rated out of 5. And I deduced the conclusion that the plastic bottle was the best one. So here, and then if you scan this QR code, it leads the Instagram account. I posted like these contents and also what I recommend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and these are my success criteria, my ATL skills. I chose this topic because I'm interested in like world issues and especially in environments. And I'm also interested in like caring plants and animals. So I try to combine those 2 global issues into my personal project. Yeah.
Celine, if you could do anything differently related to your project, what would you have changed?
I would investigate like other factors that influence the plant growth, like limiting factors of photosynthesis, like the amount of sunlight or like amount of soil humidity. Yeah, so I'll try to investigate like different aspects of it. Yeah.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much.
This reminds me of my science class. Yeah. I'll have.
This part is.
About your project?
So my project is about drawing a book about impatience. The general plot is about the act drawing itself dynamically because of its impatience to wanting to come out of the shell.
What was the most challenging part of your project?
Actually, the most challenging part was choosing a topic because as the topic was really broad and we didn't have a specific prompt, so I had a kind of hard time choosing a topic, but after choosing the topic, it was actually quite easy.
Alright, so can you walk us through how it went after? What was your process?
So first, I brainstormed about all the topics about the life because I wanted to convey some message through my books and literacy skills, but after I chose the topic, I had actually set some milestones to manage my time well. So I have created some idea sketches and then choose a general plot, tags, and then I actually specified the designs and then I finished the book with actually.
You're really talented.
Thank you.
Is there anything you would have done differently?
If I could do it, then I could have chosen some more topics that more the adults can relate because I have chosen this topic to give a lesson to young children, but actually I actually want to try some other topics next time because this topic is kind of limited because I have to use some limited like literacy skills to like make the children understand.
So if you wrote for somebody who was a little bit older, you would challenge yourself a little bit more for the vocabulary. Excellent.
You can donate this to our elementary library. You just need to put your name and class of 2026. It's forever there.
Exactly. You contribute to the school. Thank you so much. Great job.
This way? Oh, this way.
The image produced by the vortex events of 170,000 years to travel
She makes a book. That's the book, like a comic book.
The density and temperature causes a hydrogen atom that make up the sun to collide with each other with enough force to
What was the most challenging part?
The most challenging part? Personally, my most challenging part was creating this. But out of the processes, I think cutting this part of the sun was the hardest and took the longest. Because I really wanted to give up on this part.
No, that was awesome.
It looks really good. What would you say is the most beneficial thing that you learned?
I think this overall researching about the sun really made me reflect on how valuable the sun is to our planet. Because I researched about how the impacts of the sun to us, and through that it made me think, wow, we're really gifted to have that.
Thank you for sharing.
hydrogen modes into helium atoms. Nuclear fusion and proton.
The final job took like more than I expected to print.
So it's not quite ready yet.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be ready like evening or so.
Okay. Well, we can just go ahead and use this, and then you can show us a final draft later. So tell us about what you made.
So this is a UEFA Champions League trophy I made. So as you can, so this is a UEFA Champions League trophy I made. This product is so basically UEFA Champions League is UEFA. It's a competition where top clubs from different European leagues come together and compete to be crowned as a European champion. So I use an application called Autodesk 360 where I can make some 3D printed products. And I used another app called Cura that can get the data from Fusion 360 and move to the 3D printer. So this is a front view and a side view of the Fusion 360. As you can see here, I made a product from the app. This is a kind of simulation how I made it. So
And you made it hollow on the inside based on this?
But if you make it hollow, if you see it's too thin, so this is why I made this a rough draft, because it was too thin that it kind of had a kind of cracks and stuff. So I had to either make this thicker or fill this place up. But I rather chose to fill this place up because it's an exhibition where people customize the product and making a product. So in aesthetic aspect, it would be nicer to hollow the middle part, but in the exhibition I chose to fill it up so it's more solid and stronger. So this is my success criteria. And this is a 3D printer that we use. It's not the school one. The school one used Ender Pro 3.
So where did you access the one that you used?
In the 3D printer on the second floor.
Okay.
The Mr. Ward. This is the printer that he uses.
Yeah.
So from the Cura, you transfer the data here, and this prints from it.
That's really cool. Is there anything that you, like, how do you feel like this is going to help you in the future? Are you going to be able to use this for something else later?
If you can see, this ear part is really curved, and the basic model of the trophy is not just simple cylinder, it requires more like advanced sketches. So like this part of the trophy and how it's like cup style, this will help me in the future in making do the advanced sketches.
You'll be able to use the skills you used here for other things that you want to build. Excellent, thank you so much.
It seems that the live streaming is not working. So the parents, when parents comes in, it only says waiting.
그 TCIS 유튜브로 새롭게 만들었어요. 처음에 이제
링크 말고?
네, 링크. TCIS 홈페이지에서 TCIS 유튜브 홈페이지에서 바로 볼 수 있어요.
지금 연지쌤이 학부모님한테 전화를 받았대요.
Yeah, right.
녹화 중이에요? 어떻게? 통화.
오늘 링크가 좀 오류가 있어서 새롭게 시작했는데 그거는 그냥 피샤에서 홈페이지에서 바로
피샤에서 홈페이지.
유튜브에서 그냥 바로 그 라이브 중이라고 되어 있어요.
우리 그 쉐어한 링크가 아니에요?
네, 유튜브에 보시면 바로 라이브 스트리밍 하고 있어요.
그 링크는 뭐예요? 같이 나와요?
By the way, if you guys want to take this brochure, that's completely fine. You guys want to take it?
Hi. Tell us a little bit about what your project is.
Alright, so this is a responsive calendar. I'm sure you already know. This is a
I do, but our audience.
Oh, yeah. So there's a responsive stress calendar that's purposely made so that it actually inputs in your info and inputs what you'd like to do. And will later, as it updates on, it's going to make a calendar that fits to your interests and try to improve your mental health. So I was first inspired by this book, which is like Algorithms to Live By. So it's a book about neuroscience and it's a book about mental health. And this professor made an entire like AI system where he increased the mental health by almost 50% of all like depressed individuals in the United States, of the state of California. So it kind of inspired me to try to make something very close to this. And it made me to realize that I wanted to try coding something. Now, I don't have any experience in coding. I've never done coding in my life until this part. So I had to learn always from the start. So how this website works basically, so I'll just log into my original account. But if you don't have an account, you're able to put in your full name, your grade. Since this is targeted a little bit more towards high school students, I made it only from grades 9 to 12. And there's the gender and there's the email address, and you can put your password in there. And then after that, you have to take this survey for accurate recommendation. So basically what this survey does, right, for me it's going to record my email address and ask me, but it's going to ask you what you'd like to do, like what kind of stress relief activities you like to do, and it's going to try to understand who you like as a person are, so that later on, as it updates itself and as it gets to know you, it's going to make a calendar personalized for you. So I'll just log into my own account. This is what the calendar would look like. I already inputted my information, so I like listening to music, I like meditating, and I like reading a book. So basically what it's doing is it's providing recommended activities for you. So for example, if you like exercise, then it'll change. It'll say that it'll have exercise on here whatsoever. So later, I showed this before, but it asks exactly the same as a Google Calendar. So you're able to add activities upon whatever you want to, but it also recommends you activities based on your mental health. And basically later on, it like goes for like the second month and the third month, and then it stops here. And the reason why I made it stop here is because sometimes you have things that come up that don't really fit in your schedule, and you never know what's gonna happen in the future. So sometimes maybe like you won't have enough time to listen to music anymore because you got a new job and that doesn't require like that you don't have enough time to do that. So I made it stop here, and the entire reason why I made this accessible, it is actually accessible to the public. So as long as you have this link here, you can just put it in your laptop and you're able to access it from any laptop in the world. So I made it that way, and then
later on for me, when I do my report, I wanted to make statistics. I want to show what kind of certain types of people like certain stuff. So I created a dashboard for myself. So this is a dashboard where it shows all the graphs, all the statistics. I made some people do it. I made Justin do it. I made a lot of my friends do it. So that's why there's like music and swimming and running and watching a movie and meditation. And it's providing like a full grade breakdown, activities breakdown, gender breakdown. Later on, this evening, I didn't show you this, but like on 9 p.m., exactly at 9 p.m. at 8:55, there's going to be a pop-up message that comes up. So it's going to say activity starts after 5 minutes, so take the survey. It's going to ask you like how stressed are you, like are you feeling okay? And then after you do that website where it's going to send you links. So it's like if I wanted to listen to music, it's going to send me links of music or playlists. So later on, after that, you listen to your music, it's going to send you a post survey where it's going to ask you now how are you feeling? Are you feeling less stressed? And then it's going to continue to like try to personalize it to you. So that's how it is.
I think that's very impressive. Great job.
Even this one I like. I like the design.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let's hear a little bit about your project.
So for my project, I made like tempe, which is a traditional food of Indonesia, one of them. So it's really healthy because it has protein, calcium, and probiotics, and additional vitamins. It's antioxidant, free of cholesterol, and it's made from fermented cooked soybeans. So the process that I have here is modified from the original process, kind of speeded up, so it would take less time to make than the original process. And
Why did you choose this project?
well, I chose this project because my mother is Indonesian, and I thought it would be interesting to kind of make a traditional project from like what she enjoyed when she lived there as well. And I kind of wanted to learn more about the history.
What are some things about the history that you learned?
Oh, well, I learned that it was kind of made on accident. So, yeah, so they're fermenting something else.
What else? What else do you know about tempe?
Well, it was made in Java, Indonesia.
You should try.
Would you like to
try? I'll try it. You don't have very much.
Yeah.
Did you do that on purpose? You don't want people to try to
They kind
eat
of
it all?
So I kind of fried it, right? But it might be too salty, and it was fried it was kind of fun. It's not as crispy as.
No, because as Indonesian, I told him that you shouldn't cut it too thin. So it should be like this, this thick, and then you should just fry it a little bit, and then get it.
So it's not too hard.
So, having been given advice, what would you have done differently?
Well, I think some advice that my mother also gave me when she saw the final product is that, like during the peeling the soybeans, right? I should not how do I say it? Like when I'm pouring it out, I don't have to strain it every time. I could just grab the beans and then kind of rub it here to get the skin off, and then just pour the top layer of the water to get the skin off. And also, as she said, I cut the slices a bit thicker. Right? I would fry it for maybe 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes. Because from the final product, I've kind of noticed that it's kind of too hard on the outside. I would want it to be softer on the inside. And maybe add less salt.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, but still, you made it. For me, I wouldn't make it. I'll just buy it.
Great job, Justin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
So this is the website that I made about the taste. So during the summer, I read a book about the history of taste, and I kind of got interested in that because before reading the book, I thought that taste was just about eating, but after reading that, I learned that it formed the culture of the people, the culture of the humanity, and like it had like a really significant impact to the history. So I decided to make a website about it.
What's something that you learned throughout the process?
I learned that the most interesting thing that I learned was that about salt, the taste salt. It's highly related to our survival, but I learned that it also created, like as you can see, like it has the economic importance of food. It's important in food preservation, and it also played a huge role in trade and exchange throughout the history. And it also caused like wars and conflicts. Like for example, in like the 19th century, there was I don't know, like remember the name of the war, but there was a war between two sides trying to like occupy like the salt farm in America. And yeah, that's what it is.
You normally think of like wars being over like money or things like that, not necessarily salt. But that's interesting. That's very interesting. So what was the most challenging part of your project?
Probably coding, because I never learned coding before.
Okay.
And I tried my best, but I just couldn't make it to the part where I wanted.
Well, I think the site looks pretty good. So, all right. Thank you very much, Soja. Good job. Hello. What is your project?
So my project is basically like making a plan for myself while like working out and have a good life habit. And then it's in a form of website, so it's more easier for me to show you guys. And then as you can see, you guys can like read the description here, what I plan for. And then I'm mostly focused on top and bottom. So top is more like on like shoulders or like backs or like yeah. And then for the bottom, it's more like on legs. And then like the reason why I made this project, because like for the past few years, I had like a really bad life habit. I usually stay up late until like 5 to 6 a.m. and then and then I only eat like 1 or 2 meals every day. So it's like breakfast and dinner, and then I always stay at home. I don't like do sports or go like walk, like to work out. So for me, not only like one goal. I made 3 goals for myself. I made like to like do a workout. I made myself like healthy food menu, and also like a good life habit according to the internet research, and also like my personal trainer. Then there's like 3 sections, and you can choose any. You can. But I prefer you choose this one. So it's like it's a lot more like it connects to me. So for my life habit, like I made a time schedule for me at around 7 to 8 a.m.
Is it your real apartment?
Yeah.
Looks nice.
It's in Stoichiometry.
How do you get a whole room by yourself?
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry.
No, as a guy room, it also looks clean and neat.
I mean, it's my new house, so and then I made a plan for me to like at least have a good like just sleep like around 7 to 8 hours, and wake up at that time, and then for breakfast I just have like simple vegetables and proteins. And if you guys want to know more about food menu, you guys can click here. So, yeah, but I'll explain it. Yeah.
You said that you made this plan for yourself. Was it easy to stick to? Did you struggle with sticking to it at all?
To be honest, for me, I feel like the hardest time I have feel for this project is like being consistent on time. It's like it's not for like a week or for like a day. It actually took me for I continued for like 2 months, which means like in a whole 2 months instead of weekends. Weekends for me is more like freedom week. It's like I don't have a schedule for workout.
Right.
But like Monday to Friday, I have like specific time. I have to wake up at that time, and I have to like eat a breakfast, and I have to go to the gym.
And you stuck to it really well?
Yeah. Because like if I stay up late again, that means like I'm gonna be late to my gym next day. So like I gotta stick around with this. It was really painful for me. For like first few weeks, I think. It's like I don't get used to like waking up earlier. And for like here, the reason why there's a burger over here, it's like, you know, for me, it's not like I'm on a diet right now. I'm trying to improving my, like, to become a lot more like healthier. And then if you click here, this is like my next session about food menu. And then for like, this is like mostly what I eat and focus on. You know, it's like protein, rice, or like vegetables, like other like nutritions. For like, there's like the playing of my food menu, it might be work on me, but it might not work for like others. For example, there's different type of bodies, which this is the 3 body that I researched. And then, for example, like if I'm like this is my type of body. For me, that like it's hard for me to absorb those nutrition in the food, so I gotta eat as much as I can. Rather if it's like oily food, it's like high carbohydrate or like protein food, I have to eat as much as I can. For example, for like if it's him, which is like this type of body, it's
Right.
like it's a lot easier for him to gain weight, you know, because it's a lot easier for him to absorb the nutrients and fats. So like for him, I prefer like him to have like less oily food and eat more like fruits or vegetables.
All right. That's awesome, Jen. Good work. Thank you.
Good job, Jen.
Is it okay?
I like the website. Did you make it by yourself?
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about your project.
So I was making a clay sculpture. You can see the result here. And my research was based on how to actually create a clay sculpture. And here you can see some basic information about clay and some how to choose the material, the right material, and also the tools and preparation to how to actually make a product and the process.
So tell us a little bit about your process.
The process was, I think, it was really interesting and fascinating because there is that kind of material that you can hardly expect something, because you can wake up in the morning and it's all cracked if you put too much water in it, or if it's like too dry, or if not enough dry, you cannot attach something. So it's really specific material, and I think that I will definitely continue doing it and develop as like bigger and brighter.
So I see it's called Fallen Angel. Can you tell me about why you decided to name it that and what exactly your plan was? Or
The concept was to show how our life exists without love, because without love, who are we? And but love can also be like destroyful and can destroy people, and
So you talked a little bit about like the challenges of working with clay. What was one of the easiest parts of that?
the easiest part was, I think, carving on the pieces and attaching the small pieces to the head.
Carving? This was the easiest part?
Yeah,
Wow, that was
because,
pretty detail oriented.
The creation of the base is really hard because you also need to carve everything inside in order to let it dry really quickly and not be that heavy. So I think that was the easiest one.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing. It turned out really well. Much better than I could have.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Okay, you can explain.
I'm a sister brother. Oh. Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So this whole project started off with my interest in criminology, and technically it's since when I was growing up, I love watching criminal shows. That's why I wanted to expand my interest into a podcast in my personal project. So I actually self-researched first about criminology, and then learned about the 3 main minority laws that are in South Korea, Japan, and US. And I researched about the minority hate crime that happened in each three countries. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, and it just continues. So the first case was about Vincent Chin. He was an American Chinese who lived in America, in Texas, I believe. And his life ended shortly because of a white male who decided to beat him up because of this whole escalated situation. And however, since it was murder, everyone expected that the murderer would get life sentence. However, he didn't. He only had $3,000 fine and 3 years of probation. So I wanted to make sure that these hate crimes, if it happened in UK and South Korea, it would have led to a different result, such as a life sentence with no possibility of parole, and like $25,000 pounds in UK and around $2 million in South Korea, I believe, of probation. So these two scenarios and the cases are similar. And the last episode was just me overviewing the whole series and just explaining about how important minority hate crime should be known to people and making sure that people understand about what minority hate is. Yeah.
Which of the cases was like the most meaningful or interesting to you?
Yeah. I would say the first one. There is a reason why I chose it as my first one actually. So his death is all happened in America, and I'm a student who's never been to America. I've only been in Asia and Europe, so I never understood what it meant to be living in America. And I was kind of scared when I first saw this case. However, I was able to learn that these things happen. However, it doesn't mean that America is a bad country. This bad decision from the judges will appear sometimes, and life is not fair at times. But I was able to learn that not everything will be fair, but if you choose the right decision, then you will be.
What was the most challenging part of your podcast?
If you see, this is thick, this paper, and this whole
You did a lot of research.
Yeah, I spent so much night just working on this research, and some laws were not even in Google, so I had to look up in Korean words, and I'm not that good in Korean, so it was quite challenging, but I was able to finish it.
Can we but can we play a little bit the podcast? I just want to hear. She doesn't want to publish it.
I will publish it.
Section 28 and 29, a person that is guilty of an offense if they committed an actual bodily harm. Vincent Chin was actually brutally hit by a baseball by Ed.
For me, you're a good storyteller. So you should continue. Either as a podcast or Instagram or TikTok.
I wanted to continue this as my extended essay.
We'll have to talk about how we can make that work.
Good job.
Thank you, Sunny. Look so excited. I don't want to hear it. Tell me about your project.
So my project is to create nail designs, creating nails, and all the ideas are from the Pinterest. And to talk about it, my product goal was to make 8 to 15 of them, and I made 11. And my learning goals were to learn new technique skills, which are like these kind of steps that I need to know about in order to create nail designs. And these two are the process journal to see how to create these two nails. Because like these two are the most difficult but simple also. And if I to talk about it, the material that is needed is in my brush, different types of stones, which are these gems, and the top coat for the shiny surface, and different color gel and the thick gel to glue the gems and the nail together. And to know more, these are the pictures that I use, the products that I've used to create the nail products. And these are process and pictures so that if people look at it, they'll know how I make it. Yes, that's all.
Which one is your favorite design? Those two. Did you ask other people what their favorite design was at all? What was the typical answer?
Typical answer were all the fancy ones.
That's true. I like this too.
I'm a fan of this one personally.
That's true, yeah.
Which one was the most difficult to make?
The most difficult, like, to guess two of them for these and this.
Which one are the details?
Yeah. Because, like, I had to use it really carefully for the thin ones to create the designs. And, like, for this, I had to roll this gel. There's a special gel where you use it like a clay, but when you put it in the UV lamp, it gets harder. And for that, I had to try for like 5 times because it kept breaking down.
You can open a business after this. Earn some money. Just by appointment. You know how expensive it is to do nail art here in Korea?
At least you have the experience now and you can do it. So, alright. Thank you so much, Zoe.
Good job. Can I make an appointment with you here right now? It's long already.
You don't have to. I'm sorry. I meant to say you can stay. If you would like.
Goodbye.
Alright, tell us about your project.
So, do you know what complacency is?
Not really.
Complacency is a form of negative self-satisfaction. So, for example, I feel like there's a lot of students who struggle with complacency in our school. So if a student gets a 6, they're satisfied, even though they can get a 7 and 8 if they work harder, because they work just enough for a 6. And something that adds on to this for the students, adds more complacency, is the use of ChatGPT. So when they use ChatGPT, they don't really feel much guilt, or they feel like they didn't do any work, because they feel like they did some work, because they did some summarizing, they did some editing, they feel like they did work. And if you use ChatGPT, can get either like a 5 or a 6, but never a 7 and 8, but they're satisfied with a 5 or a 6 because they didn't put in any work. They're like, I didn't do any work, but I still got a 6. This is a win. They feel good about themselves. And in my script, this is a play script, my product, I use the wishing pond as a substitute for ChatGPT in their story. So the students in my play script wish upon a pond for better grades or whatever they want, and the pond actually grants their wishes. However, they think the pond doesn't take anything for compensation of their wishes, but actually the pond takes away their future that they get from all of the hard work. So it's kind of telling the students to feel more related to their story when they use ChatGPT, to step further from a 6 and work harder to get a 7.
Yes!
I absolutely love that.
Agree.
Was it difficult to write a script?
At first, I thought I really enjoyed script writing, but after I wrote that, it was like a 90% love, but like 80% love.
Do you think that you could ever get somebody to maybe do your script or do a play in your script?
I would work harder on
make some changes. Interesting. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to hear that. I see that a lot, exactly what you're talking about. So I'm glad you recognize it and are addressing it.
You captured the phenomenon.
Very good job.
Thank you. Good job.
Yeah, I did watch this. Good job.
Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So my learning goal was to learn how to edit on Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay.
And then my product goal was to make a fishing YouTube video. And then I've always wanted to make a fishing YouTube video, and because I've watched so many, and I know
different how to film it and everything. I just never knew how to edit on a Premiere Pro. So that's why I chose this.
Have you uploaded your video onto YouTube as well?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what was something that was the most challenging of your project?
The most challenging was probably like taking all like everything I filmed, and then like because it was probably like 2 or 3 hours of videos, and I had to like all collapse it into one. That was probably the hardest part, most time.
Is there anything that you would have done differently with your project?
Maybe like cleaning it up some more, like getting maybe more different angles. Mainly just filming it a little different.
Working on the filming aspect of the project. What is something that you're most proud of with your personal project?
I feel like just the way it turned out, like the angle. I feel like I executed it pretty well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good job. I don't think I'm that scary. Camera might be scary. Very good. And tell us a little bit about your project.
So I created a Q&A website for IB students for them to interact with each other and also share their learning experiences. So you can post questions that you have regarding any assignments you're given from school, or just like questions you have regarding any topics. And also you can share resources that you find helpful. And there's also a chat feature where students can engage in discussions and also have like study sessions together.
Very cool. Is this open to other schools, or is it just at TCIS right now?
I'm aiming to target IB students worldwide, but starting from our community.
That's
as
very
of now.
cool. That's very cool. What made you decide to do this project?
So as a IB student, I encountered challenges of like lack of resources when I was like studying and like researching for like assignments. So I thought it was important to have like a supportive like system platform for IB students to assist their learning. Yeah, and that was my.
So what would you say is probably the most challenging component of making your website?
So the challenging part was learning a new coding language. So I used a language called Vue.js to create this website, and it took me a long time to understand all the concepts and apply them to create this website. But the other processes like designing it came easier because I had a clear vision of what functions are needed and helpful for IB students.
Excellent. You know what? I'm very impressed. I think this looks really good. I hope that you're able to continue working on it and branch it out to other schools, because that would be really cool. Thank you. Ready or not?
I'll open my memo just in case.
Your notes? Alright, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your project.
So this is a program called Maya. It's like made for making animations in 3D things. So I learned about how to make 3D characters and how to create animation through YouTube, and like I tried on different like videos about how I could do it. And like I applied those skills to make a 3D character doing an animation. And if you see this thing closely, this is called Jegicheongi. It's like a Korean traditional game.
Oh, okay.
It's like this.
Okay.
And you like kick it up and keep it up in the air to continue the game. So I was trying to like show the audience about it so that they can know and learn about Korean traditional game.
So it feels like like it was a little bit, like the 3D animation was really important, but it was also connecting to closure as well. That's really cool. What was the most challenging part?
I would say the program is really big. There's so many things that you can do, so it was hard for me to choose the right tools that I could put the movements and the positions correctly so that it looks good.
It turned out pretty good, I think. Is there anything that you would have done differently?
The thing is, the program actually kind of crashed right before, so I had to rush through it. But I would say if I had more time, I could have done it with more colors and more animation.
Well, I like it. I think it turned out really. Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah. It's done.
Here we go.
I have ice cream. I love it. I love it. All right, tell us about your project.
Oh, so my project was basically learning my license as a volleyball referee, which specifically is a line judge.
Okay.
And yeah, I had to go to Jeju Island to do 3 days of lectures and actually doing the test in order to pass the test. I mean, if you pass the test, you get it, but then if you don't, you don't.
Clearly you passed.
Now
right?
yeah. We have our own judge.
Yes, awesome. Wow, so how did you, I know that you had told me before, but what did you do after you got your license?
So after I earned my license, I actually kind of participated in the Daejeon University, Chungnam University, in their volleyball games. I participated being the line judge, and I actually got paid for it.
Ooh, nice. That's very cool. That's very cool. Was there anything that you would say is the most, what would be the most challenging part of your project?
So the most challenging part was, I would say, the test, because even the lectures was really tough, because 12 hours every day is really tough. But then in order to recognize the information in the test, because we don't know what would be in the test, so I had to kind of review it every day and just study it by myself at in the hotel. So the environment wasn't really it, and I just had to find my space to study. And then inquiring the knowledge to real life was challenging at first because I wasn't comfortable with anything. Then I kind of found the spot where, okay, so I have the confidence now. Now I can kind of actually show my skills and stuff like that. So yeah.
Are those your jerseys from actual being
This is an official jersey for referees. Every Korean referees have the same thing. So yeah.
Well, good job. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How to make a pattern. Then after that I bought a photo shoot.
So you got one of your friends to model it for you?
Yes. But not in our school. She is outside the school.
That's this dress, right?
Yes.
It's your person.
And this is a heels that she wore. Well, I didn't make it,
But still, I mean, you selected it.
Yes.
It's part of the fashion. Leonard, I remember, just a couple of years ago, you were designing Midsummer Night Dream Fairies, and it was super rough. I mean, they were great ideas, but super rough. And I look at this, and it's where did this come from? This is amazing.
I'm going to use this as going to college, and I'm going to show them what I did for the project. So,
Are you taking visual arts next year?
Yeah, for DP, I think I'm sure.
Because I know you can focus on fashion design within that. But I mean, the crafting and the handiwork is amazing. I don't think I can do that. I'm really impressed. And, the handiwork, but also your sense of design. I know you've always had a design sense. So that's really something.
Leonard, what was the most challenging part?
The most challenging part was making the pattern between the bow designs because I have to like calculate and think about the like size of it and then think about the design of the product. If I draw something wrong with the pattern, the shape of the dress and jacket is getting really different way in an ugly way. So I was like kind of struggling with making a pattern of the bow.
Is there anything that you would have changed or done differently? Or?
I think I would choose the other fabric more than tweed, or I could then choose different types of fabric. This one, like different fabric. Because by using different fabric, I think I would be having more different design or different shape.
I am very impressed. I like that you've had this in the library for a few days, and I love looking at it. I think it turned out really well. Good job.
I'm 30. So I don't know.
Okay, while he finishes, can you tell us what you did?
So what I did is I made this mechanical keyboard. Not really made. I mostly assembled it. I researched and bought parts from AliExpress website, and I assembled it and customized it to make it a personal keyboard, personal project.
What was the most challenging part of your project?
So I have the most challenging part was probably the lubrication of each switch. So each switch, which is each inside. So I disassembled each switch and painted with lube inside, and then assembled it back. So each switch took like a minute or two, and in total it took me 3 hours. I have a video of me doing that. So
build it into digital form like Fusion 360.
So this is the process that was the most challenging.
Lubrication is used to have a smoother feel on the click.
Since it's so small, it was really frustrating because it's really hard to grab.
Is there anything that you would have done differently?
So maybe I would have bought a switch puller, like a gadget to take it out without using hands. Or I would have, yes, I think that would be my biggest change. It would have a big impact on my project.
Why did you choose this project?
So since it's a personal project, these are my personal hobbies. So I wanted it to connect it to my personal project. Therefore, so it can actually be a personal project. So I like to watch YouTube videos of keyboards, mechanical keyboards, and research about it.
Interesting. And I know you told me that you've made this one before, right?
Yes.
So how many keyboards have you made?
No, this is my second.
This is just your second?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything else that you might, I didn't even hit that, do differently, like maybe instead of a keyboard, something else, anything else you'd want to build, or is keyboards your area?
So I can, something similar, which is anything mechanical related, or building a PC is almost very similar.
Okay.
It's just assembling the different components together. So if you have, as long as you have the knowledge of it, it's very easy.
So another student over there made a PC. Would you be able to put your PC, his PC and your keyboard together and make them work?
Yes.
That would be kind of fun. All right, thank you so much for showing us. Good job.
Finished with this.
Yeah. Hello. So tell us a little bit about your project. What did you have here?
So what I had, right, past and had is kimchi jjigae, but lots of people came by to eat my dish. So I'll just get straight to it. So what my project was about was like learning how to make kimchi jjigae by myself and like the history behind kimchi, which is actually, and like the simple like amount of ingredients needed like to require and make kimchi, and yeah, that was my product. Any more questions?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the process. What did you have to do in order to make it?
Alright, so pretty much what I had to do was I had to cut two things, the kimchi and the garlic pieces. And this is because like I had to cut kimchi to the right size that like it fits into like their mouth, right? Because if it's too big, then like they obviously can't eat it, right? It doesn't fit. And if it's too small, it's like non-existent, right? It's just they don't like recognize the taste. And then for the garlic, I needed to cut the garlic pieces up like bit by bit so that I could like smush them together and put them into the dish. Because if the garlic pieces are too large, then yeah, it overpowers it. I have like the clip here of me cutting this stuff. Do you want to see? Sure. Alright. Here we go. Yeah, so this is me cutting the kimchi.
Making sure that it's in bite-sized pieces.
Yes.
Okay, so in this clip, I take up.
Ah, okay.
Next, I'm going to put my kimchi.
I'll show you the garlic part after. So I cut it in like a straight vertical line. I break it up to like 5, 6 pieces, right? And I cut it to this size because if you cook the kimchi, then it becomes more flimsy, right? Okay. It's more easier to eat, so yeah. And it becomes more thin.
Okay, so in this clip,
that was the kimchi, and then the garlic right here. So I just got a full piece of garlic, cut the brown stuff off because that's like not sanitary to eat, and then cut it. And there's like a tool that I use to like smash the garlic together. Yeah, that's all. I'm putting the garlic in on.
What would you say is the most challenging part of your project?
The most challenging part of my product was cutting the kimchi. Because if like the kimchi is cold, right? So it's like more easier to like slip my hands and fingers. So if I like accidentally like go over the knife, then
that could be pretty dangerous.
So yeah, I think that was the hardest part, like with the product itself. But like overall the project, I think it was just editing the video. Because like the amount of time that it took to like make sure that people can like hear and like understand what's going on in the video, it took like lots of trials, right? So yeah, for the project, it was a video, but like the actual product was cutting the kimchi.
Is there anything that you would have done differently?
I think, I feel like I could have added like a separate ingredient that wasn't like related to like others kimchi jjigae. But I kind of like did that like a little. I added like a doenjang like sauce and like soup soy sauce onto this. So pretty much like
kind of make it your own.
Make it my own style. So yeah, that's what I would have done.
Thank you very much for sharing.
Do you like serving?
Sorry,
Can I have some?
It's gone. I don't eat it.
I ate it.
Chemistry stuff.
No, like coding and stuff. Like that's very complex.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So I made a stoichiometry calculator. So stoichiometry is like a concept in chemistry that requires you to like find the ratio and calculate like the number of particles between reactants and products in chemical equation. So it requires you a lot of calculating processes. So I made a software to make it more efficient and fast.
Wow, that sounds pretty challenging. What was the hardest part? What was the hardest part?
I think sometimes when you write the code, there's like a syntax error. Like when I wrote out some comma, it generates an error. Yeah, I think that was the most hard, challenging part.
Can you show us the calculator, maybe how it works a little bit?
So this is the software. This is the thanks. This is the code I made. So when you run the code, when you see here, it generates has like 10 different calculating options. So after reading it, like figure out what you need to calculate, and you just have to input the number of calculation option that you want. So for example, number 1 is calculating the number of representative particles when the mole of substance is given. So if I want number 1, I just type in 1 and return, and it gives you instruction to input the number of mole, which is like already that you have. So for example, if it has 2 moles of substance, it means there's like 1.2 times 10 to the power of 24 number of representative particles.
This sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah,
was there anything that you would have done differently?
Maybe next time, you know how it's like kind of like not pretty. So maybe I can use like this software to make a UI or UX application where people can like use it more user friendly.
Kind of user friendly. Yeah. Excellent. Very good. I'm very impressed. Nice. Tell us a little bit about your project.
So my project is based on chaos theory. So basically, the chaos theory is just stating like how the insignificant difference that affect the events in unpredictable ways. So like, to show this like demonstration of chaos, I created 2 pendulums, one for like traditional project, one for the inside. So if you let it go, it shows like, you know how it shows like chaos motion that never repeats. If you also put like a little more motion to simulate, it shows like complete different motion.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the basic product I created. There's some other like real life examples of chaos theory into like weather patterns. So if like one thing changes, like such as like temperature, like the whole weather can change because of that little change in temperature.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, like, this chaotic motion happens because like the relation between like the pendulum arms angles and angular velocities as well as acceleration is like not proportional to one another. So if you were to graph this, it won't be like a straight line. It will be like having like sorts of curves which explain this chaos.
Yeah.
Like there's like a better way to explain like the reason behind the chaos, like the pendulum, but like the math is like really complicated. So yeah, so that's the basic.
What was the hardest part about doing this?
The hardest part was like trying to. The hardest part is like trying to like make this without like minimizing friction.
Okay.
Yeah, so that it spins for a long time. But like thankfully, I got like the right bearings to like minimize friction in order for the pendulum to swing like, for a long time.
Is there anything that you would do differently next time, like maybe using different materials or?
Next time, like I'll try to like round off these like corners and edges. Because like people when they came here, they told me that it's kind of really sharp. So when they accidentally put their hand around it, they can cut them.
Do you think the corners being more rounded would change the way that it spins at all?
Not really. If like each corner is like proportionally like rounded.
It's pretty cool. Is there anything else you want to tell us about your project? Anything that you learned or that you would think is important?
I just think that in real life that there's many things that can seem as chaos itself.
All right. Thank you so much. Good job.
Thank you. Okay. I don't know what this is.
What did you make here?
So I made a UI UX design, like app design. So it's basically a game, but it stands for user interface, experience. So I made a prototype that displays what exactly like this game will look like before it goes off to developers to actually record coded game. So my goals were to fully code it. It was to create the coding a game fancy feature that will also serve as an education game, but it didn't actually reach the coding process, even though everything else was able to get done. So just creating the app
all of these. Also on the screen, I drew all the pots. I like corresponded them to different plants. I only ended up, it went from like 20 to 12 plants that I actually ended up doing just because of time. Yes, so I created in total 84 different drawings of the growing plants. Yes, I created my prototype in Adobe XD, which allowed me to just paste everything in there and include a sample of what the lily would look like as playing the game.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I also created a video to show as a trailer what the game would look like. And these are the applications I used. I used Adobe Premiere Pro for editing, Adobe XD for the overall prototype design, and Crochet for all of the drawings.
Okay. What do you think was the hardest part?
The hardest part for me was because I never got to the coding portion, it wasn't that hard to actually code. I didn't get to the coding portion, so it would have been harder if I were to do that. But because of that, it was just the drawing was the hardest part because of how time consuming they were. And in the beginning, finding my art style, I haven't ever like drawn this much in like repetition. I haven't drawn like the same type of thing. So it definitely took a while to get used to, and it took a lot of time to draw all of it.
I know you told me previously that there's the journal part, and that gives you a little bit of information on the plants.
This is what it does. It just goes through the different plants, and it kind of tells you about, it just tells you about the different fun facts, the origins, the scientific name, and how much it grows up to, so like the height and everything. So it just gives you a little bit of info.
Did you have to do a lot of research to get that background?
I had to do research for that. It wasn't that hard to find, especially the research for this. It was fairly easy because a lot of the experience I already had in like art. It's kind of self-explanatory, you just draw. But and then I take CT, so it's easy just to learn XD. I already had all that experience for creating a video, all that. So I never had to use a lot of research except for that portion. That was probably mainly research portion.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Good job. No, you're fine. Hello.
Can you tell a story about my voice is cracking, so I have to kind of talk not good, so.
That's okay. Tell us a little bit about your project.
My project is creating a website about pollution, and I like categorize into like 5 different topics of like pollution, and at the end I made like solutions and a quiz that people can take. But then, like, unfortunately, nobody really like got everything like right. Only 2 people. So, but then, yeah, this is just a homepage, and there's like this air pollution page is like specified and like more description and like examples. This is like different topics.
Excellent. So can you tell me what was the most difficult part of your project?
Well, probably like summarizing all the information into like one website. So because like even though like topic itself was pollution, I had like all the different information for each one. So it was like hard for me to actually like kind of organize all of the information.
Mm-hmm. But did you find a lot of information? I feel like there would be a lot of different information.
Yeah, because like I searched like I had like 20 databases I had to search.
Wow, that's a lot. Is there anything that you would have done differently with your project?
Probably like maybe like less writing and like more photos, because I noticed this is kind of boring for people to take a look. So because there's like so many writings and they have to read all of the information.
Excellent, thank you so much. Good job. Tell us a little bit about your project.
So this is my project to spread awareness and information about animals.
Oh wow.
And also, it also plays a part for my drawing skills because I needed to practice them. And I kind of wanted to start something new, perhaps like illustration and using collage at the same time to make an illustration for like this. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your process. What made you go in this direction and why did you choose this topic?
So for the inspiration, I watch YouTube and Instagram a lot, and one of the posts was related to Indonesia, and it kind of appeared on my For You page. So I was curious, I went in, but the comments looked really bad. I found out they really didn't have proper information about it, and so they're kind of misunderstanding and kind of blaming on the creators. So I thought maybe I could create something to raise awareness.
Very cool. What was something that was really difficult throughout the process for you?
Well, like little details here. I am not quite familiar with any other medium rather than ink pen, so I just had to use them, and it's really thin, so I kind of suffered a lot making the details. And also, I had to cut some pieces, and some were like ripping off, so I had to restart a couple of times.
So did you just use pen, or did you use another medium as well?
They're all pens, but for the colored ones, they're acrylic paint.
And so you had only ever used pen, you said?
Yeah.
So was using the acrylic paint a little bit difficult, or was it pretty easy?
I really couldn't even find the right direction to paint. I just kind of like literally painted it. So I think it kind of helped me to practice it.
Is there anything that you feel like you would do differently if you had another chance?
Well, I think I would have managed my time better because I could have put more those on this side, because this side I really took my soul out, but this part, not really, I don't think. It's kind of not following my plan.
It kind of went off on your own. All right, well thank you, that looks really good. Good job.
Thank you.
I'll come back. We got a little bit about what you did, but do you have any other comments that you want to make about why you chose this or anything like that?
I kind of explained it at the start.
Okay.
So my learning goal here was to review the biological topics that I learned in 9th grade, because there were some topics that I didn't have a full grasp on, so I wanted to improve my understanding of those. So I kind of tested myself by making a comic to paraphrase all the information and to simplify, make it more intriguing for others to learn. And these are the things that I researched. This is like more like a textbook explanation, and no one wants to read this. So I made it more intriguing
type of comic that I drew with my iPad. It does have longer text, so comics mostly have a short dialogue, so I really wanted to fix this, but it was kind of beyond my ability to more something like that. But it does contain
Very good. And do you have a favorite drawing?
There are ones that I use I gave human-like traits to the enzymes that are involved in this process, because although this visual is really like scientific and accurate, because it's impossible for enzymes to have hands and have objects that they can call doing their job. But I think this could help a person who's never heard about DNA information understand what they're actually into. What is their role? It's more intriguing to learn.
Yeah, I would agree. Great job. Thank you. Wow. All right, tell us what we got here.
Hello. So my project was building my own biogas digester at home. So basically, I thought about doing this project when I first had this thought about, oh my god, I really hate going outside my house to throw away food waste. So how can we find a way to use food waste in a productive way at home? And that's when I ran across biogas digesters online. And biogas digesters are basically this type of like containers where you put organic waste like cow dung or food waste and the microbe, and you also input like microbes like bacteria or like yeast, and then those microbes go through respiration inside the organic waste, and they release gases such as carbon dioxide. And in a biogas digester, the gases are stored, and when we release the gas, which I'll do with this role plan, they're able to burn, and therefore we are able to produce fuel out of the respiration that occurs from those organic waste. So if these food waste goes to a landfill, they're going to release those gases like methane and carbon dioxide on their own to the atmosphere. And if you heard about we always say like cow meat is like beef is bad because cows release methane, right? And so like if methane gets released into the atmosphere directly, it's really bad. It causes air pollution, it creates like ozone damage. But if we're able to harness it in ways like this and use it as a fuel source, it's a solution to both the problem of our increased like organic waste and also like our renewable energy problem. So I wanted to explore that through my project where I built my own like mini version at home. And it's basically, I built it through like an IV tubing and some like valves, and it's mostly made through recycled materials as well. So through this project, I really got to explore like the world of biogas and like this method of creating renewable energy in a very sustainable and productive way. I think, well, my original plan was to donate this thing, like donate the gas somehow to like underprivileged people in Korea who still use things like coal briquettes. But unfortunately, I found out that that would be hard to do unless I had some sort of like a machine and those like cans to like compress the gas inside. So I changed my goal of I could still raise awareness about biogas through displaying this in my exhibit. In Korea, like biogas is not commonly thought of when people think of energy, and people definitely don't think of organic waste like food waste as an energy source. And while it's actually common in places like Latin America and Europe, I think most Korean people don't really know about it. And did you know that some Korean apartments even charge you for how much organic waste you put? They charge you by the kilogram. So if people are more aware of this way of creating usable energy, usable fuel, and also getting rid of the organic waste in a productive way, I thought it would make a really great impact to our community. So
absolutely, that's amazing. Great job. Awesome. Oh, it looks like you don't have very many snacks left. Tell us about your project.
I choose to do baking. The reason why I choose is it's my favorite thing, and I used to major in baking when I was before coming to TCIS. Yeah, and this is the reason that I use and choose the.
Awesome. So, what all did you bake?
Oh, this is small cookies, and this is image, and there is image too. Yeah, like this is scone.
Okay.
And this is recipe for.
Yeah.
And like this is success creator.
Which one did you like better, the scones or the smoked cookies?
I think it's scones because like small cookie has like more sugar inside than scone. Scone has more butter than like small cookies. Yeah, so I think scone is better than small cookies.
What was probably the hardest part of your project?
I think one of the hardest part is editing because I didn't know how to edit the video well. So like I tried several different times to edit the video. That was my hardest part.
And is there anything that you would have done differently?
No.
No, it's all perfect. Exactly how you wanted it to turn out. But are there any other recipes that you could have added, or that you've made before that you thought about adding?
Oh, like I choose the recipe online, but it has different models of the oven or like air fryer. So like I have to change a little bit. Yeah, and in recipe it said like 180 degree and like 25 minutes, but I changed to 18 minutes, and through that there's like a little bit difference.
Interesting. Well, I'm sad that I missed out on the delicious snacks, but very good job.
Thank you.
Hello. What do we have here?
I researched about the vocal music, and specifically I researched about these 3 songs. And these 3 songs show. This one shows the historical background of these 3 songs, which represent 17th centuries, 18th centuries, and 19th centuries.
Okay.
For the 17th centuries, it was the Baroque era, so the industrialization started. So it's more about like aggressiveness, and it's about really faster and harsher than other songs, because the opera singers were not really respected in this era, so they were have to sing the what the composer did. And for this too, it's kind of similar because they both use a singing method called legato, which means it's very soft and smooth and very has peaceful atmosphere than other songs.
Why did you choose this topic?
Actually, I've sung vocal music for like 3 or 4 years, so my only hobby is singing vocal music. So I really want to focus on my interest, but I wanted to learn about not only the basic singing skills, but also like really deeper inside, like historical background of the songs, so I can understand the songs more.
Is there any other songs that you may have you should have chosen or would have preferred to choose over these songs, or any other songs that you maybe could have
Actually,
focused
these songs are not really familiar to most common people, because actually when I came here I didn't really know about this song. So for the next time, I think I can choose more popular songs next time. Yeah, this one is named Ave Maria, but it's not the one that most people knows, because the composer is Lucy, and yeah, they don't really know about this one.
Alright, well that's really interesting. I'm glad you kind of went off on a different area than most people.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Great job.
Thank you.
Alright, tell us a little bit about your project. project. What did you do?
So I just did a simple infographic on what Corona did to the trading industry. My learning goal was to gain an understanding of economic principles. My product goal was to produce an infographic shedding light on the Corona pandemic. It's also my success criteria, and this highlights everything I learned and I could apply now. And this QR leads to a more detailed document.
Tell me a little bit about what you learned. How did Corona impact the trade?
So basically, at first it was, since people couldn't go out and do what they used to do, it had a very negative effect. But as time passed, people started to migrate online, and that eventually led to a more diverse way of trade after Corona, when people stopped.
So do you think that is a good or a bad thing?
I think it was good, but after the world kind of tanked the pandemic, I think it left a good impression.
Okay.
It recovered well.
Yeah. Do you think that it's going to be something that continues, like that movement that you talked about? Do you think that's going to be something that continues? Or?
I think it's already largely happened. A lot of things that were used to be only offline are now online.
What would you say is the most difficult part of your project?
Well, it was just researching it, like actually guessing to the research. Apart from that, it wasn't too hard.
Yeah, because with this topic, I feel like you have a lot of research.
It's just a lot of
what are some of the main resources that you used to find your research?
Most of my research came from the school sites such as JSTOR.
Okay, excellent. Is there anything that you think you would do differently, or?
I think I would have a more attractive.
Maybe do something more interactive. Yeah. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Tell us a little bit about your project.
So I made traditional wedding hanbok. So it's a little different from just regular hanbok. I sewed this all by hand, from just drawing out all the pieces on the materials to actually sewing them together and adding all the little pieces and finalizing it.
Why did you choose to do this as your project?
I wanted to do something related to art, since that was something that I was really confident in. But I also wanted to use art to kind of express something. So, for example, my culture. And when I think of Korean culture, I think of hanbok. So I wanted to do something a little more specific. So wedding hanbok. So I made a product of it. Since it's a little more colorful and people can see it better. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the process. Like, how did you get your materials and how did that go?
I tried looking for stores around me for materials, but I don't think they sold any individual pieces of the fabric. So I had to go to an online source and to buy all the materials. Then I had to kind of draw out all the pieces on the top, like this one. I had to cut out the pieces by paper and then draw it out with pen. And then I just sew them all together and then turn them over, actually, so my sewing will show and it will be the front of the cloth. And yeah, that's actually it.
What was the hardest part of it?
The hardest part was just the actual sewing part, because it took a lot of time, especially since I had to do some of it by hand.
Is there anything that you would do differently next time?
I would probably get more experience in the sewing part, because making clothes was actually kind of new to me. I just wanted to take this opportunity to learn more about making clothes. So yeah.
This is really pretty. I think they turned out really well. Good
Thank you.
Alright, tell us a little bit about your project?
My project is making sticker with decorating the board. So I'm really big fan of K-pop, so I try to make a sticker to decorate a photo card like this. This is an example. My hobby is decorating photo cards, so I bring 4 of them. And then I started designing, and then I made a sticker as PNG like with Photoshop. So this is my product. So not even for the photo card, you can just decorate just normal picture with your dogs. And then as diary is very famous and popular like among teenagers, so you can just decorate it with diaries.
That is very cool. So tell me a little bit about the things that were the most difficult. What were the hardest parts of this project?
The hardest part was using a Photoshop because I used it first time, and I never learned it before. So and then I learned it from YouTube myself. So it's the most difficult.
How did you make decisions on like which designs you would make?
I really love dogs, and then in K-pop scene, dog is very general animal. To like, oh, you look like a dog, and then it's kind of compliments. And then in my Instagram feed, there's a lot of dogs, and then I found many cute dog stickers. So I just want to make like my own stickers. So I use the meme also in Korean. And then I draw it myself, and then to give the atmosphere that like dogs or just like young people or cute people write it, so I just write it with my left hand.
Oh, cute. That's very cute. Really great. Was there anything that you would have done differently or any changes you would make?
Oh, I just want to make a different version, like as another animal, like such a cat or just like a bear or using like more colorful.
Very good. Great job. Okay. Tell us a little bit about your project. Sorry, is that okay?
So my project was to write a fantasy novella, but I ended up facing a lot of issues, and I ended up procrastinating a lot. So I ended up being unable to finish it, but I did manage to complete chapter 1, and I wanted to use this exhibition as an opportunity to get some feedback on my project, and also I want to move forward with it and publish it at some point in time.
Excellent. So why did you choose to write a novella?
It's because I always wanted to sort of do writing. I think ever since I was young, I kind of liked creating all these like different. I liked sort of inserting myself into like different worlds, and I kind of wanted to create my own world and then create my own characters in which I can exist. And I also thought writing could help me like express myself and like work through my emotions.
I know you said that you had a lot of challenges, but based on what you were able to finish, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Based on what I already finished?
Yeah. On your first chapter, after looking at it, maybe even getting some feedback here, is there anything that you're like, maybe I would have done this differently? Or?
I think I played it maybe too safe. As in, I didn't add like, I think it could have been slightly more, there could have been more suspense. My English teacher looked over it and she said it could use a bit more suspense. And one of the people who gave me feedback said that there could be more descriptive language. So I think I could have gotten all in on the first chapter because it is the first chapter. So I could have gone all in and just like been like, wowed it up.
So do you feel like the exhibition has been really helpful for you? You've gotten a little bit of that feedback?
I think I have gotten a little bit of it.
Good. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
My project was learning guitar in a month. So I recorded the progress every weekend while I practiced on the weekends.
Tell us a little bit about how the project went. So how did your process work through it?
So first thing I did was look at the chords and then watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to play guitar. And then over time, I just kept on practicing. Like I have a I'll just play it, but like, it's just how I learned guitar.
Did you teach yourself or did you have somebody teaching you?
Oh, I learned by myself.
Wow, okay.
So like, I used to sit aside and then I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and I learned by myself.
Why did you choose to learn guitar?
Oh, I'm in praise team and like, we kind of needed a guitar person, but also like everyone in my family plays instruments, so that's like.
What song did you practice the most, or which song do you think you feel most comfortable with that you learned?
Probably Good Father, because praise team, like, that was like what.
It's a good song. Is there anything that you would have done differently?
Oh, I would spend more time practicing because I wasn't as consistent as I would have liked to be because of school and everything. But I think overall,
would you say that that was part of the biggest challenge, was making time for it? Yeah. Do you want to play a little bit for us? You don't have to if you don't want to, but
okay, I'll play. You should have come here when Danny was singing. He was like singing so good.
I could hear him over there. Yeah. Much better than me. Good job. I'm really proud of you for that. That's a good one. Ready? Maybe. All right. Tell us a little bit about your project.
My personal project is about making prediction on like football matches. And before that, I have to analyze football matches. So these are my analyzations. To analyze, I have to, these are my steps to analyze.
Okay.
First, I have to check the lineup, like here. And I watch the match like without doing anything. And then I go to like a website to check their average position and their attack side. And then I re-watch the match and to make sure that my analysis is correct. And I found like 5 factors that can help my prediction, which are just 5 factors.
Okay.
And I applied all these 5 factors to 9 matches that I was going to predict. This one, I wrote someone who knows about football, but does not analyze. And I asked him to predict. He got 4 correct from 9 matches.
Okay.
And
Technical.
someone erased mine.
There you go.
I got 7 correct.
Oh, okay. Excellent. And so, was there a specific team that you were analyzing?
Tottenham Hotspur.
Why did you choose that team?
Because there's a Korean player.
What was the most challenging thing about your project?
It's like time.
Time was challenging.
Like every match is like 2 hours, and I have to watch it a couple of times.
Okay. That would take up a lot. Well, this looks really interesting. Do you think you could do anything with this later in life?
I want to be like a football manager or like scout. It's gonna be helpful.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. Excellent. Very good job. I like it. Okay, tell us a little bit about your project.
So my project is about psychopath psychology. So since I'm interested in psychology, I wanted to research about different people's human mind. But I thought it would be interesting to learn about special people's mind. So I chose psychopath psychology. And then my product was to make, first was to make book, but then since my target audience was teenagers, so I thought it would be more fun for them to listen to podcasts than reading long books. So, and then since it is for teenagers, I had to like
explain about the topic or in a more simple language so that they can understand it directly.
And was there anything that you would say was something that you would maybe do differently next time?
I think if I could, I want to organize and make the script more smoother. Since I feel like my podcast is a bit short. I have 5 episodes, but each episode is like 6 minutes. So I feel like if it's longer, I could add more explanations and details about psychopath or psychology, and more research about different psychopaths, because I have 2 examples of psychopaths, and I thought maybe more psychopaths could help the audience understand.
Alright. Thank you. It's really funny that every time we come, people just run back. Alright, tell us a little bit about your project.
So I wanted to learn about how stress relief can be solved. So I researched about different scents that helps with stress relief. And I learned that these 3 scents, lavender, peppermint, and lemon, can benefit you when you feel I made candles.
So tell us a little bit about how you made the candles. They're very pretty.
I bought the materials and to melt the wax and put for the colored ones I had to put coloring in it, and then I added essential oils.
How did you know how much essential oils to add?
I kept put some in and smelled it and to see.
So it's just kind of basing it off of your own set. Okay. Is there anything that you feel like you would have done differently?
I think I could have tried using more various scents to see, actually experimented with it, to see if it actually helps.
I would have been interested to have different varying amounts and then seen if it affects people differently. What was the most challenging part?
It was the first time making candles, so I failed a couple of times. And it looked really ugly, but I think it turned out okay.
I think it turned out good. I think they look really, really cute. And part of learning is failing, right? So, very good job. Thank you.
I chose origami for my personal project, and this is the product that I was working on. It's a moving origami, and I made a tutorial video, so that's my second outcome. That's basically what's in the video, and these are my learning goals and protocols. To finish my learning goal, I went down to elementary and taught them how to make this.
Why did you choose origami?
Because I wanted to do something that I could enjoy while doing, because I think I had 4 subjects in that week. And yeah.
What about, did you make these as well? That's cute. Why did you choose to focus on this one instead of those ones?
Because this one, kids could get more, children like them could get more entertained than just having one object that stays the same.
But this is something you can manipulate with your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
and
very
it's also easy.
What would you say was the most challenging part of your project?
I guess matching colors.
Did the colors matter a lot?
I mean, I don't think so.
So trying to figure out colors that you liked together.
Yeah.
Would you do anything differently?
I would the best I could do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry to tell you.
Just explain to me.
Hello, so this, as you can see, is called zakuska. It's from Romania. It's a traditional sauce made with vegetables.
Great, Tim. This is just a reminder that you should be near your station. There are students who are coming to look at your things and they don't have anybody to talk to and they want to know what you guys did. So please stay close to your station so that other students can come and interview you.
They make it with families when it's like harvest to preserve it and serve it during the
Why did you decide to do this for your PP?
I decided to do this for my PP because I lived in Romania for about like 12 years. So, but like I don't know, like I didn't know any of the traditional, like how to make any of the traditional foods. So I decided to like learn at least one dish. So yeah.
What is that? Why you chose this dish?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you would have tried to do differently, maybe?
While making maybe to make more.
Why did Romania interest you?
Because I lived there for 12 years and I lived there for about half of my life. So I have so good memories. So I just wanted to like remember.
Looks delicious. I'll come back and look. Thank you.
You're from Romania? I lived there for 12 years. Wait, what is it?
Hey, tell us a little bit about your project.
So crocheting is making stitches in a line like this. And stitching in rounds like circles. And then I stitched it together.
Why did you choose to do this for your project?
I chose to do this because my grandmother used to crochet clothes for me, so I was interested in learning how to crochet this.
Oh, very cool. What was the most challenging part?
I think the most challenging part was learning the basics because the methods were unfamiliar to me and I think crochet hardest.
Is there anything that you would have done differently?
I think I would have used more time working on it so I could put a little more attention to the little details.
Yeah. Very cool. And is there a reason that you chose the colors that you did, or was there any other colors that you would have chosen?
One of my goals was to make them emotional and engaging soft toys, so I chose soft and muted colors so it would have a calming.
Well, good job. I like it a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
So this is terrarium that I made. So what is terrarium? Like terrarium is like small like ecosystem that we can make in a jar. So when we look at the terrarium, there's like plant uproar, and when we look at the layer, there's like gravel, soil, and also moss and the plants. So each layer acts as each one. So when we make a terrarium, we just put water inside there, like 400 to 500, just like cup of water. When you put water inside, it will come through the moss and go to the gravel. Actually, gravel works as drainage system that makes it like constantly moisture. So, like even if we close it, because there is like drainage system, it will keep making moisture. So we can see the like plants can access of water. Yeah. So actually, this terrarium took like 3 weeks to make for each layer and 3 months to observe. Yeah, and also I could, if you like, as you see, there's like green parts, which means it's still alive and fresh. But if I say like if something to change, there's like withered plants and also like fungi. I started this one starting of fall season and then to winter season. So I should have changed the watering pattern and also like control this bit. So I didn't. So that's why I have to change.
So the seasons caused you to need to change.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to do this for your project?
So basically, I'm really interested in biology, and also my hobby is planting. When I come here, I went to Dr. Park's room, and there's like something BP students doing. I really get like inspiration from that. I just want to try it, so I just.
Excellent. This is really cool. Good job. Thank you. Your station's done. All right, tell us a little bit about your project, Jason.
My project is about the case study and the trial preparation about car accident with uncertain death cause. I got this from my uncle who's working in a law firm. And the presentation is made with 3 parts. It's like first analysis of the case, and the second trial preparation part, and third finally feedback that I received and what I changed it with the feedback.
Okay.
So this is a brief explanation about the case. The case is with 2 drivers. One was driving under the influence of alcohol, and one was overspeeding. And then after the car accident happened first with the first driver who was driving drunk, and then after that, driver 2 who was overspeeding ran over his body. And technically, the case is concentrated about whose fault was it. Like, is the driver 2 who ran over the body guilty for the death of driver 1? So this is the leading portion that I used for my aim. So if the cause of death is not certain, like if he died from the fall or if he died from driver 2 running over him, who should be claimed as guilty? And if driver 2 who overspeed, is he guilty for this case? And because he'll be able to dodge the body if he wasn't overspeeding, because there was a car ahead of him who were able to dodge the body because he wasn't overspeeding, he was keeping the speed regulation. Third part is like an aim. It's like what I aim for as me working as a lawyer to defend him. It's like aim. So I thought that I cannot get him non-guilty, so I concentrated more about giving him like less penalty, less sentence. And the result was this, like non-guilty because of 3 reasons. Similar cases, judicial precedents, and presumption of innocence. Like if you're not completely guilty, then you cannot be seen as guilty. And then finally, the system of Korean laws. These 3 factors were the factors that changed the result that didn't even make the case to establish.
So this is what the actual case.
Yeah, this is the answer that I got from it.
Okay, very cool. What do you think was the most beneficial? Like, what did you learn the most through this process?
At first, I thought that this is a part that I didn't expect, but it took me a lot of time to research and prepare about various things like rules, laws, and how it's different in any situation. And it actually took me a lot of time. And I thought that if I'm considering this job as a lawyer in the future, I thought that I would really need to improve my time management skills, because I would not be able to balance my life if I just go on like this. Yeah, that's the most important thing that I learned.
Very good. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
It's the projector, you mean?
No, it's the
monitor. Sure. I don't know who it is. Hi. Tell me about your project.
So I did a cover video about the song from an artist that I like, and because I'm really into music, I wanted to create a product that really that I really enjoy myself. And this is me practicing. I want to show the process of making the product. Emphasize the point that I put this much effort to show the story through the song, through melodies and rhythms to convey a story to audiences.
Why did you choose that song? Like you said, it's by an artist that you like. Was there a reason for that certain specific song?
So this song has many different important parts. So at the front, it's like very enjoyable, energetic, but at the back, when you look at the lyrics, it makes you to think back and reflect on your life as well. So I really like the point of having two sides. And yeah.
What do you feel like was the most challenging part?
I say time management, because practicing an instrument requires a lot of constant practice time, but it was kind of hard for me to keep my time. I'm a lazy person, so that was my challenge.
I think we're all a little bit lazy. If you could do anything differently, what would you do? What would you change?
As mentioned before, I think I would plan ahead.
Plan ahead a little bit, yeah. Okay. What about, would you try this with another song and see how it worked out differently?
No, I think I would have choose the same
You
song.
still like that song? All right. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing. I really enjoy it. It sounds really good. You're gonna have a whole audience. Tell us a little bit about your project.
My project is related to technology and teenagers, and I researched about the negative impacts of technology and social media content. And I came up with some guidelines, strategies, and tactics so that the teenagers can follow along those guidelines and so that they will be able to live a healthy and balanced digital lifestyle.
Excellent. And what were some of the big challenges that you faced?
I faced some challenges while researching and actually creating the book itself, because it was hard to paraphrase and make it as my own after researching all of it, because it's all based on datas and researches. But I just use my time. I spend some time and paraphrase and make it as my own, and just try to be creative and just overcome this time.
Is there anything you would have liked to do differently?
I would still create and publish a book, but I would also make a toolkit that contains some materials and components where it suggests some activities that teenagers can do in their spare time with no technological devices.
Smart. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.